Hello class, this is Mr. Garcia and this is the third and final video. So earlier we worked on getting the general shape of the multiple creatures and we ended up with this. We ended up adding more detail to it. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add shading to it. Now shading can be really complex and hard to do. Try my best to simplify it and not get too hard for you guys. Again, I'm only using a number 2, which is the same as an HB pencil. Alright, so don't think just because I have a blue pencil that it's special in any way. It's literally the same as a number 2 pencil. Alright, so let's get started. Oh, also, if you haven't watched the other 2 videos, please give them a look, please, so you can get caught up and then you can come back to this video. Alright, like I said before, you don't have to do the exact same creature that I'm doing. This is just for those of you who want to follow along. Alright, so let's get started at shading. So I make the mistake every time of shading from right to left, even though I'm a right-handed person. So today I'll try my best to fight my bad habit and I'll work from left to right. So when you're shading, you do your light first and then you go to your darks. So I'll hold my pencils like this. Now these creatures, even though you cannot see it here, you will be able to see it in your on the pictures that I'll be posting up. Alright, they'll be colored. So either way, the beetle's gonna be black. Your bee, you already know it's gonna be black and yellow. Praying mantis is a green color. The ant, I believe, is more red or brown color than it is right here. But we'll try our best what we have. Also, if you feel free to color if you like, you can. If you have colored pencils, you can use them. So feel free for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So like I said, we work from our from our lights to darks. So let's go ahead and start. So don't press too hard on your pencil when you're shading. If you want to smudge your pencil marks, go ahead. Keep in mind that if you're not careful with it, you will get it everywhere. When I say smudge, it's this. You see how it's kind of streaky? If you go like this, smooths it out. All right. So another important thing is to figure out where your light is coming from. For me, I think I'm gonna have my light coming from this angle. So I'm gonna draw a sun right there. Notice I'm not pressing too hard on my pencil. I'm only drawing lightly. That's because I don't want to get too dark too soon. And plus, if you make a mistake when you're drawing lightly, it's really easy to erase. As opposed to drawing really hard on your pencil, that you even create an imprint into your paper that you cannot erase. So we are shading. So what you can do for creating highlights is you can either figure it out straight up where you want to have a highlight and then you just don't make it darker, or you can make it darker and then take a eraser and create your highlights later like I'm doing right now. So that's where I want my highlight to be. Let's make it look nicer. Alright. Let's make this one a little bit darker. Let's give this a little bit of highlight too. Also, keep in mind, this is not real, so you can break the rules to make it look nicer. Like this little section wouldn't be hit with light, but it just looks nicer if it is. Feel free to move your paper around to have different perspective of it, of your drawing. Okay, and then I have the last one. So I just made a big mistake, which is putting my hand on top of my drawing, so I can either smudge it and then get the rest of the paper dirty. So those are things that you want to watch out for, which is why I'm trying my best right now to color from left to right. Just give it a lip. So now that I have this, most of it shaded for the back piece, I'm gonna go ahead and start pressing darker on it. So to make it darker, I'm just pressing slightly harder on the pencil and going over multiple times. That's really all you need. If you have multiple pencils with different dark and light values, I would go ahead and use them instead. But since I'm doing this video for everybody and not everybody has those pencils, I'm only using a number 2 pencil. Alright. So, for those of you who have, I forget what it's called already, a stub to be able to smudge your drawings, you can go ahead and use them. If you don't have any, you can grab a piece of paper, or you can grab like your pinky finger and smudge the pencil marks so that it mixes in better and it blends properly. Now at times, some paper will hold on to it and it'll be harder for you to smudge. But I mean, that's pretty decent. And again, now you have to make sure that your finger doesn't get bled everywhere. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. Which is why I use my pinky. You always have to think ahead. So now we did the back. So I'm doing a good job. I'm working from left to right. Yay me. I'm really bad at it. Working from left to right. I always work from right to left. Alright, so I'm gonna make this part really, really dark because you wanna keep the differences between the leg and the body. You don't want them to become one big figure. You want it to be able to tell that's separate objects. So the way the light works is you can draw lines on where it will be hitting the body. So I know that the light is gonna be hitting around there. And I will be creating more exercises later on how to shade properly. This is just a quick one. I am more worried, I want you guys to focus more on your actual drawing than the actual shading. So I'm not too worried about the shading. I want to see the drawing is more, alright? So this one will have a little bit of a highlight right there. And see again, start from light to dark. Lower areas are obviously going to be lighter. When you draw in shadows, there's two types of shadows for the most part. Well, actually there's three, but we're only going to be focusing on two. The two that I'll be talking about are hard shadows, which is shadows casted by a hard object, like a table, a piece of paper, or let's say a car, or just a straight up square. That's a hard shadow, which is just goes straight to dark, or it stays one value, as opposed to a soft shadow, which is like a circle or a round object, and it goes from light to dark. So those are the two shadows, soft and hard. So back to the drawing. So you can see you really don't need special pencils for this. Alright, so that's it for the back leg. Let's focus on that right there, like that. Just make this really dark. I'm gonna go ahead and create a little bit of highlight right there to separate the two legs so they don't become into one by the viewer. Kind of did it anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix it up in a second. And then the hair is gonna make it help out that it looks like it's two different legs. Alright. Yes, that's good. Same here, same thing here. So this shading video will be a little bit longer than the other ones because we're focusing mostly on detail in this one. The other ones I'm focusing mostly on general shape and minor detail. This is more important details. So now I go here. I'm gonna go ahead and so light really wouldn't be hitting that part of the leg, but since this is not real and we're exaggerating, we will make it look like light is hitting it. It's okay to exaggerate in art, especially if you want to get a message through. And this drawing or message is this is a bug and it has multiple legs. And the shell's hard. Take your time when drawing. Do not rush your drawing. This drawing is gonna take me less than an hour. If it takes you way longer, take your time, please. Not everybody is able to work at the same pace. Many people are slower at working than others, and that's fine as long as you have attention to detail to it. To back it up, alright, so now we start working on this. If you have any questions, please ask them. I'm more than happy to help you. I understand that it's not gonna be as easy to help you um, through online. It's a lot easier to help you in person, especially for those of you who are more of a head-on type of person. But you had to understand. This is what we're doing for now, and we're gonna do the best we can. Okay. So I'm working on one section at a time. So we're getting closer to the furry part. So I'm gonna go ahead and add more hair to the whole thing. Because why not? Careful not to add too much hair now. And again, feel free to move your paper everywhere. It's fine. I'm so sorry that my camera is really far. Again, this is a makeshift camera holder, so I'm doing the best I can. Again, look at that. More highlights where they're not supposed to be, but it works, so it's fine. That's something you need to have in mind. I need you to keep that in mind, that if it works, it's fine. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this part of the body. I know that you guys are not used to me having this long of tutorials due to our class time. So I apologize for that. But I'm kind of happy I can go more in detail on things. Especially for those of you who really like tutorials. I hope this is not too advanced for you guys. Again, your drawing may not look like mine, and that's fine. As long as you gave your best. It doesn't have to look anything like mine, actually. As long as it resembles a bug. So I'm creating my highlights. Dark values right there. I like, I should have done this more. I like it when it goes from thick to thin to thick. Like right here. I should have done that more because I kind of really like that. That's the highlight right there. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I'll try my best to be able to answer them. You don't have to only ask them on Fridays. You can ask them anytime, and I'll try my best to answer. Just keep in mind that I'll be answering more often on Fridays than I'll be on any other day on the week. Okay, so the leg is almost done. We go over to the next one. There's our highlight. Create a highlight right here too. Alright. And if you do want to listen to music, I would listen to music. But keep in mind, do not get distracted. You still need to turn this in. And I will be expecting you guys to actually turn it in. I'll be creating a deadline for it so I can go ahead and grade you on it. Go ahead and there, overlap the papers. Go ahead and create this highlight right there. Pencil pressure is really important when drawing, especially when creating shading, because it allows you to create a gradient of light to dark, as you've seen that I've been doing. If you do not have good pencil pressure sensitivity, it's your shading is not gonna be the best, which is something that you can work on. But it's really hard to get used to at first. Some of you will be a lot better than others, and that's fine. Not everybody is amazing at everything. This took me a while to get used to as well. I do want to apologize for the video being a little bit too long, but I'm trying to add as much detail as I can to this drawing. And there will be some of you who have even more detail than I do, and that's great. So then, erasing needless lines. All right. If you can use the number 2 pencil, if you don't have special drawing pencils. I've already told you guys that I don't like using mechanical pencils, especially not for shading. And it's not that it's impossible, it's just that it's harder, and why would you do that to yourself? Especially if you do have number 2 pencils. If you don't have number 2 pencils, just give it your best. I understand that not everybody can just go out and get them. Shading. Okay. We want to keep as much detail as we can. Don't get lazy when drawing and just erase what you have. Take your time, please. Because if you don't take your time with shading, you can lose some of the detail that you've added to your drawing. So we're almost done. Almost. Still need to do the eye, the face, the mouth. But I mean, we've done most of the harder parts. So those parts shouldn't be too hard. Again, I know that not everybody's going to be doing this insect, and that's fine. I know that some of you really don't want to do any of the insects that I gave you. As long as you turn in a creature that you used 2 insects or more to mix. Alright? So again, this is what we have so far. It's good thing to always close your eyes and then reopen them and just relax, take a look at your drawing and see what you have. Alright, so this is what we have at the moment. I really am loving it, so let's continue. So I think, yeah, I like that. For the fur, I think I'm gonna keep it lighter. And then I'm gonna make the skin dark. Not the skin, the shell. So the fur's gonna be lighter. Now we go ahead and do the closer to the mouth. I really wouldn't want to mess with this bug if it was in my house. Alright. And there shouldn't be an excuse as to why you can't do this project. It doesn't have to be realistic. It can only, I just want you to give it your best. Take your time to work on it. Now I want the eye to be really dark. So, and I don't like the highlight that I have at the moment. So let's go ahead and, my highlight will be more like this. Let's go ahead and create it. There you go. So we go from dark. Okay. So now we need to make the eye a lot darker, or else the eye is gonna blend in too much with the rest of the body. So now it's when we start pressing really hard on the pencil, and we start coloring it. Make it, I mean, pressing dark, more darker. See? And then I go around and create a gradient. That's our bug. Our bug's name is Jimmy. So again, try to relax whenever you draw. And you'll find yourself getting lost into the actual drawing. Before you know it, you're gonna be done with your drawing. So please, give it a try. The hair. I'm only doing this, like, I'm only doing the hair this way. I'm not gonna add too much detail to the hair. If you're not careful, adding certain things can make the rest of the thing not look as realistic. So you know what, I'm actually gonna add more detail to the hair, because or else it's gonna look, make everything else not look as good. And we put so much time into this, might as well go all the way. So you need to turn your paper multiple ways. Alright. And let's go ahead and make it a little bit darker. Stands out a little bit too much. So that's our drawing. That's our bug. That's Jimmy. So if you do have any questions, let me know. Feel free to watch the videos. Feel free to ask me questions. Feel free to do your own version. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.